Greetings everyone, we will continue our discussion on problem solving using C. So in the previous session we have started about arrays and the basic concept about arrays. In this session we will be looking about the one-dimensional arrays, two-dimensional arrays and multi-dimensional arrays. So in the previous session I have given you the concepts of the arrays, that is how we will be having a one-dimensional array. In this session we will be looking about the programmatical part and how you can implement that one-dimensional arrays and other dimensional arrays. So in the last session I told you what is an array. Array will be a collection of items or the same data type items that can be referred under a single name and will be stored in a continuous memory locations. As I told you, we will be having a grouping of items of same data type and they will be present in a continuous memory locations. Compared to the basic data types, it is an aggregate, that is in the basic data type you will be storing a single values. In your arrays we will be storing large number of values or a group of values. So in C arrays will be having three different types, that is we will be having one-dimensional arrays and most generally we will be having multi-dimensional arrays. As a part of multi-dimensional arrays only we will be having your two-dimensional arrays. Based upon the number of subscripts you are having in your arrays, you will be having one-dimensional, two-dimensional or 3, 4 like this multi-dimensional arrays. So as I told you, our one-dimensional array, conceptually you can think your one-dimensional array as a row with a set of values which are stored one after the another, where you will be having your array name and each and every element will be calling it as, each and every element will be stored in a consecutive memory locations like this. As I told you, if these are integers, they will be stored in a contiguous memory locations. And you will be having subscripts which are marked from 0 to n minus 1. You will be having these subscripts which are marked from 0 to n minus 1 and you can be having values in this manner. So these are the array values and these will be the subscripts and they will be stored in the memory locations and you can be having memory locations in that manner. This is how you will be having a one-dimensional array. So I told you the declaration of your one-dimensional array. So you have to use the data type followed by the name of the array and you have to specify the size. Without specifying the size in the declaration, the compiler will get confused with how many elements it has to store and it will be giving you an error. So we will be having initially the data type which you have to implement and the name of your array and then you have to specify the size. That is your declaration of your arrays. And to access the elements in your array, you can access the elements individually by using the subscript. That is, you have to place the array name then followed by the subscript value. That is, if I want to access the fifth element, then I have to place marks of 4. Okay, so fifth element means we have, since your subscript starts from 0 to n minus 1, so since it starts from 0, I have to take your value. That is, if I have to access the fifth element, I have to place 4 value as your subscript there. So I have to use the array name followed by the subscript value to access the individual elements. So how you can enter data into your array? You can enter data into your array by using scanf and followed by the complete your accessing value. That is, you have to place your array name followed by the subscript to tell what you are trying to access. That is, here you have the code where you can use the scanf to enter data into your particular elements by using the individual access here. That is, you have to space your array name followed by the subscript. This subscript can be implemented by using your for loop where it will start from 0 to n minus 1. So you can use the for loop to access each and every individual element in your array from starting to ending. That is how you can access arrays and you can access the each and every individual element and enter data into the particular element. Another way is you can initialize your array while declaration itself. That is, you can have the declaration like this: int num of 6 is equal to 2, 4, 12, 5, 5. Like this you can place or you can give values into the array while declaration itself. Okay. Next, while declaration you can skip your size. Why? Because if you skip the size, the compiler will automatically take the value of the size by looking at your number of initializations you have done in your declaration. Okay. Next, the last part is how to read the data from your array. You can read the data from your array by using the same individual element access what you have done by using in your entering data. That is, you can have a for loop from 0 to n minus 1 and access each and every element by using your array name and the subscript value. Okay. We can combine all these things into one complete program. So, in order to understand this complete one-dimensional array, you should be able to know how to enter data into the array, how to read the data from your array. So, I will give you an example here where you can combine all those things whatever you have seen up till now. So, initially in your C program, you will be having a statement, your library function, then you will be having your main. Inside the main, what I am trying to do is I will try to create one array and display the values from that array. So the first thing is you have to declare one array. I will declare an integer array. So what I will place is A. Okay, I am having 5 elements in that array. Okay, this is one type of declaration where you are not making any initialization. Okay, so this is just a declaration. I am telling that I am having an array A which I am trying to store integers and I will be having 5 different values in that particular array. In a similar manner, I can declare another array B. Okay, another 5 values. In this, I will be performing the initialization. Okay, I am performing the initialization. This is another way to declare your array where you are initializing your array by the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is, now B of 0 will contain 1, B of 1 will contain 2, B of 2 will contain 3, B of 3 will contain 4 and B of 4 will contain 5. So that is how you are initializing your array while declaring itself. So this is one way of declaration, this is another way of declaration where you are not they are giving values here, but you are giving values here. This is the initialization part. Okay, so this is the first part, that is the declaration. The next part is how to read values into the array. That is how you can give values into the array. So here you have given values into the array by the initialization step. Other way is how to use the for loop. Okay, the other way is you can initialize the individual elements like this. A of 0 is equal to 5. That is now the first element in the array, that is A of 0. If you remember properly, when I create an array, you will be having in this manner and you will be having subscripts 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 different elements. Then array name is A. A of 0 implements, it points to this particular position what you are trying to do. If I give value A of 0 is equal to 5, now 5 value will go into this individual position. Okay, so you can give the values individually like this, or like this I can give A of 1 is equal to 10, A of 2 is equal to 100. Like this you can give the values individually, or at a time I can give values like this. For I is equal to 0, I less than or equals to 4, that is I am starting from 0 to 4, I plus plus. Inside that I can have simple statement like this, scanf %d address of A of I. When I have address of A of I, when your I value is 0, the first value you enter into the, when you are giving the input, the first value you enter, it will go into A of 0. When I value is 1, it will go into A of 1. When I value is 2, it will go into A of 2, then 3 and 4. Okay, when your I value is 5, it will exit the loop. Okay, this is how you can read the data into the array. by using the scanner. Okay, whenever I want to read large number of values, I will be going for this method. When I want to read only a single value or few values, I can be using the individual method like this. For example, if I want to read 100 different values, I cannot write 100 lines here. That is, a of 0 is equal to 10, a of 1 is equal to 100. Instead of that, I can give something like this. For I is equal to 0, I less than or equals to 4, I plus plus. That is, I can have a for loop which will implement large number initialization. Okay, this is to read the values. Now, after reading the values, you can print them. That is, you can print individual values. For suppose I want to print this individual value. Okay, if I want to print the individual value, just how to press the individual value which you want to print. Printf %d a of 0. It will print a of 0. If I want to print a of 1, I can print a of 1 individually separately. If I want to print all the elements, the same thing I have to do. I will start from I is equal to 0 until the last element I am having, I plus plus. Printf %d, okay, a of I. Okay, this will print a of I. If I want to print the B array also, I can print the B array also. So in this manner you can print, when I value is 0, it will print a of 0, then B of 0. Next it will go to I is equal to 1, then it will print a of 1, B of 1. Then it will go I is equal to 2, then it will print a of 2 and b of 2 like this until the end of the array. Okay, so this is how, last you close your main. This is how you can implement the arrays, that is one dimensional arrays. So initially we have done the declaration here. Okay, otherwise you can initialize your array in this manner. Next, you can give values into your array individually like this. Or you can give values into your array in a whole manner, that is, if you want to access all the elements by using for loop, you can do like this. Or you can print individual values. This is input now. This part what you are trying to do is input of your array. So this part is the output part. So declaration, input, output. Each and every program will be having this basic methodology where you have to declare your array, you have to give input into your array, and you have to provide output for your array. Okay, you have to print your array. So in this manner you will be having the basic statements, that is, you have to be able to declare, you should be able to give values into your array, then you should be able to output your array. Okay, these are the 3 steps you are having in your arrays. Apart from this one, you will be having a middle step where you can be processing the array. That is, if I want to sum all the elements that are present in your array. For example, if I give values 5, 6, 3, 4, 9, that will be the array. So if I want to find the sum of all the elements in this array, that will be the 3rd step you have to do. So when I want to do the sum of elements in your array, what I have to do? First I should be able to declare this array. Then I have to give values into the array in this manner. Then I have to perform the processing part. Okay. The processing part is to sum all these elements that are present in the array. Next, the 4th part is you have to print the sum. Okay. At that time you need not print all the array. You have to print just the sum. Okay, so this will be the declaration part, this will be the input part. I will tell you the processing part now. So then I will be telling you the output part. So each and every program in your C should be present in this manner. You will be having the declaration parts, then the input parts, then the processing parts, then the output parts. Okay, so when I want to find the sum of elements in your complete array, you will be having the same declaration and input, then you have to have the processing, then you will be having the output. So, as I was telling you, your declaration, you are having your array, you have declared, then you have So some random value 6, 7, 4, 3. Okay, you have declared your array A. Then you have given values by using scanf, what I have told you in the previous slides. Now processing part, how to sum this complete array. So in order to sum, first I have to declare one sum value and I am initializing it to 0. Why? Because if you don't initialize it to 0, your sum value will be some garbage value. So for that, to avoid any wrong results, I will be initializing it to 0 first. After that, in order to sum, this will be the process part where you are performing the processing. For I is equal to 0, I less than or equals to 4, I plus plus. Okay, what I will be doing is sum is equals to sum plus A of I. This will be the processing part. That is, this is the code which you write to sum all the elements in your array. Okay, I will explain the thing. Once after completing the sum, that is, once after completing the summation, I will print the sum. This will be the output. So this will be the process part, this will be the output part. So whatever the declaration and the input part will be same as before program. Now coming to what you have done here. Okay, so when your I value is equals to 0, when your for loop I value is equal to 0, so this statement will be executed once. That is, sum is equal to sum plus A of 0. Okay, so now initially your sum value will be 0. Okay, next A of 0 value is 5. Okay, 0 plus 5. Now at that instance my sum value will be 5. Next, the for loop will repeat and I value will be incremented by 1. Now I value will be equals to 1. Okay, so 1 is less than or equals to 4. It will go into the loop. Again you have to do the sum is equal to sum plus A of I, that is 1. So A of 1 value is 6. Currently the sum value is 5. So you will be getting 11 here. Next, I value will be incremented. I value is equal to 2. Sum is equal to sum plus A of 2. A of 2 is 7. Okay, current sum value is 11. So 18. When I is equal to 3, your 18 plus 4, 22 will come into sum. When I is equal to 4, 24 plus the 22 plus 3, 25 value will be present in your sum. So at the time here, the sum will be printed as 25. The sum will be printed as 25. That is how your for loop will run to summate all the items that are present in your sum array. Okay, that are present in your array. So what the thing you have to understand is how to use this array for your processing part. If I want to add the sum of elements in your array, that is the thing you have to do. So you should be able to use this for loop and array to manipulate all the operations to perform your processing part. What is the thing you have to do in your arrays? That will be the processing. Whether I have to find these elements. Okay. So whether I have to sum all these elements, whether I have to sum alternative elements, all these things will have to run from your this processing part. So each and every time while you use arrays, so the declaration parts won't change, the input parts won't change, only two parts will change. One is your processing part, that is what you are doing with that array. Here what I am doing, I am doing the sum of elements in your array. That will be one processing. You are having numerous applications to perform in this same array only. That is whether I can search for an element in the array, whether I can sort elements in this array. I can sorting means you have to get 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. That is you have to be able to sort lexicographically. So all these applications can be performed only in this simple array. Okay, there are numerous applications which you have to implement in the future regarding this simple processing part. What you are going to do will be your processing part. That is what is the application you have to implement. So in this case, you are implementing the summation of elements present in your array. The third part or the last part is your output. in this example, what you have to do, the output will be the sum of elements. That sum of elements you have to print. So these 4 parts, that is input, declaration, okay, processing, output. All these 4 stages will be part of your array implementations. So you should know how to declare your array, you should know how to give input values into your array, then how to process the elements those are present in your array, then how to give output for your array. All these things will be part of your complete implementation of a single dimensional array. In the next session, we will be looking about how to have the same implementation for multi-dimensional arrays. That is, how to implement your 2-dimensional array, how to implement the 3-dimensional arrays. What are the things which changes? Okay, so how you will be having these arrays? What are the applications of this complete arrays? That is, where you are going to use arrays in the real life world. What are the applications? We are going to look at all those things in the next session. Thank you.